Hey Spuds! Sorry about my voice today, I'm kind of losing it. But I figured today I would do something that I've been doing a lot of lately, and that's making candy. So to begin with, I mixed some corn syrup, some sugar, and some water, and heated it to about 300 degrees. And right now I've laid it out on some mats so that it's cooling. I've already got my red and my white, and I'm going to be making peppermint tonight. So that should be fun. I've been watching a lot of Lofty Pursuits recently. They have a YouTube channel. They make amazing looking candy. If you ever get a chance, you should definitely go check them out. I believe they're stationed in Tallahassee, Florida. So I definitely recommend that. But I have my peppermint candy all laid out. And over here is a little hot plate. It's on and warm already so that I can actually, keep the candy malleable for the entire time I need to. And yeah, here in just a few minutes, actually it should be cooling pretty well. Yep. I'll just kind of pry up the edges so that it doesn't spread too far or get too cold on the bottom there. And yeah. Here when it's cool enough, I'm actually going to stretch the clear stuff so that it gets white. Because when you stretch it, it adds air bubbles into it. Hundreds of thousands of little air bubbles. And those air bubbles reflect light. So it makes it like a bunch of little mirrors, turning it white. It's really cool. I think it's absolutely fascinating. And I love making candy. I've been selling them at the farmer's market around here recently. Because, I need money. Yeah. This particular batch is going to be an order for a lady who came in last week. She wanted peppermint discs, so I'm going to make some peppermint discs. And hopefully they turn out well. If you guys can see that, it's already coming up from the mat pretty well. It means it's getting cool. It's not really cool though. I mean, right now it's still about 200 degrees. So without these gloves, I wouldn't be able to touch it without scalding myself. And even still, you can barely touch it for a few seconds without it getting really hot. But yeah. It's kind of funny though, because the peppermint is so strong that as soon as you pour it into the pot, it immediately fills the entire house with just peppermint death. It's ridiculous. So that's getting pretty cool. I can just about handle it. I'm going to roll it out a little bit so it gets cooler a little bit faster. Now I'm stretching it to get some air bubbles in there, make it white. And I have to do this while it's still really hot, just so that it's all malleable. Because otherwise it'll harden too quickly, and that's a bad idea. That makes it very difficult to make shapes. While I'm doing that, I still need to move around the red stuff, because otherwise it'll get too hard on the bottom and still liquid on the top. But if you can see it, the more I fold in air bubbles, the whiter it's getting. So it's less clear and more opaque. Fancy word of the day for you. Opaque means not clear. And I'm going to leave the red so that it's, nice and clear in the center there. But I am going to spread it out so that it cools off. Because when you're making candy, you should always have the outside warmer than the inside. Because otherwise your inside will leak out and It makes for really gross looking candy. Isn't that a lovely noise? And right now it's getting pretty solid, so I may have to throw it on the heater for a few seconds. But I'm going to fuse a couple more bubbles. And when you add air like this, it also makes it nice and crunchy hard candy, so it's not all sticky and gross. Move this around. Press it down so that the hot is next to the countertop here, so that it cools down, while the cooler stuff is on top touching the hot stuff. Okay, so see how that's gone from clear to pretty white? I may have to do it a couple more times, but after that, I'm going to put it onto a heating plate and make it nice and warm again, so that I can move it around and make it into a wrap for this. Okay, I think that's pretty good. What do you think? Yeah. Can't really hear what you're saying, but that's fine. So we're going to take this, put it on there. Around, around. You got to keep it moving or else it will stick to this surface, which would not be good. It is, however, getting much, much hotter, therefore much easier to mold. See? There's that. My slim wrap. And I'm going to take this, and that's cooled off considerably. I'm going to make it into a nice ball. It's pretty hard right now. Not a ball. I'm going to make it into a roll so that I can roll it up in that white. Then okay, and I'm just going to roll that on up. There we go. Ta-da! Now we have a nice log of candy. What we're going to do with this is we're going to keep rolling it and stretching it out bit by bit so that it gets a lot thinner, so that it's actual bite-sized pieces. And you're going to cool it off in the process. My mitts are slipping. See, the inside was still a little too hot, so it's gushing out the side there. But that's okay. So if it happens just a little bit, then it's not going to make too big of a difference, because we do throw away the outside here. Well, not necessarily throw it away. Sometimes, if it looks nice, I will cut off the very end and sell it as unicorn droppings, which I totally stole that idea from Lofty Pursuits, because I just thought that was the cutest thing, you know? Yeah. just about have it the size I want it. Just about. Squish that edge back in. But you have to keep moving it or else it'll get flat on one side, and you don't want that. But I think that's about the right size, so I'm just going to keep rolling it so it cools off enough for me to cut it. And when you cut it, you don't really cut it the normal way. You take a sharp tool, I have my little knife here, and you put it on the edge of like a pan or a pot or something, and you just smack it till it breaks into tinier pieces. But yeah, hopefully this looks nice, because I really want that lady to like it. By the way, if you hear a weird sucking noise in the background, that's my son. He's currently eating cereal, little baby cereal. He loves that stuff. I mean, he could snack for hours. And I know that's not necessarily good for him, but they're little nutritious things. And we're still working on getting, you know, a routine meal going on. So, I think this is going to take a while to cool off. But that's okay. So right about now I'm going to pause the video and cool it off over in my fridge. And I will be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've gotten them cooled down pretty well. They're nice rods. And I've also cut them in half because, you know, that made them cool faster. And after I cut them, this is what the finished product will look like. It's pretty cool, huh? And it's just about see-through in the center. And as it cools down more, it'll become more clear. But yeah, there is a peppermint round made by UPotato22. Anywho, I'm going to finish up these and then probably call it a day. Alrighty. So, bye!